Yeah, I'll always be a metalhead. Nothing can take that away from me.
Right.
I mean, not jail, not people, not religion, not anything. I'll always be a metalhead. Metalhead leaves you all right.
You're listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back, Metalheads, to another episode of the Great Metal Debate Podcast. It's your man Xander yet again, back with another album review. Today, we'll be looking at the brand new record from Portland-based melodic black metalers, Uada, with their forthcoming full-length titled Crepuscule Natura. Personally, I have been a big fan since 2018, when I first heard their second album, Cult of a Dying Sun. Since then, that album has become an all-time favorite. Let's address the elephant in the room. I have defended this band for 5 years now against all the internet trolls who consistently bash this band over weird accusations about Uada supposedly copying other bands, despite not sharing very many identical qualities. Sure, some things might have a similarity, but there has always been a distinct difference in both musical structures and stage presence. I won't argue everything here, but I want you all to know that's where I stand as a diehard fan. 2020's Jinn album was a fantastic follow-up to Cult, and definitely outdid their Devoid of Light debut. Back in late 2019, I had the pleasure of seeing these guys standing in the front row next to the stage at Zanzibar in Louisville, Kentucky. After the show, I got my picture with the whole band, but looking back now, it's embarrassing. You see, everyone in the band places their left hand in front of their faces to symbolize the left-hand path. This was something I didn't learn until later, so my dumbass looks like I was using my right hand to facepalm. Maybe I can redeem myself one day when I see them live again, but for now, let's dissect Crepuscule Natura. Starting things long and strong, we got the album opener, The Abyss Gazing Back. It's worth pointing out in advance that this album only has 5 songs, but each of them account for nearly 42 minutes of runtime. Lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist Jake Saperchi crushes it yet again with his beautifully written melodic riffs and harrowing bellows. One thing that I noticed immediately was a musical return to form, as the new record reminds me so much of their Devoid of Light debut. It also slightly reminds me of Jake's previous band, Ceremonial Castings. The winding guitar tone in this one, especially towards the track's conclusion, is the good kind of earworm hook that you won't mind getting stuck in your head. Hearing this full-length album on repeat for a total of 5 times has made me appreciate the hard work each member of the current lineup has put into this breathtaking release. Speaking of the lineup, we have 2 new members who have stepped in as the secondary guitarist, Kevin Bedra and Trevor McCain, who is now pounding away at the skins, both of which are seemingly a perfect fit for this band, and I must compliment them for a job well done. Then we have the album title track, Crepuscule Natura, which takes you on another hypnotic journey. This is followed up with The Dark, Winter, put in parentheses. The opening riffs alone are enough to make you enter a meditative state. This is precisely the kind of music I want to hear emanating from my earbuds when I take a nature walk. Just like the previous album, Jinn, the bass is audible in most areas, but throughout certain areas in the mixing I have noticed the absence. This is my minute gripe with the album, but it's petty enough for me to sweep it under the rug, especially since I hear the bass for the majority of the album. This, of course, is no shade being thrown toward Nate Verschoor, as I think he does a phenomenal job. But again, I feel his abilities could have stood out just a little more in the mixing. Maybe with future efforts, the volume can be turned up just a hair. Next is Retraversing the Void, which had a lyrical video released on YouTube not too long ago. I won't spoil too much here, as I believe fans should check it out for themselves. Closing things out, we have the band's 12-minute long epic, titled Through the Wax and Through the Wane. I must criticize one thing about this track. It's too long and lacks variety, as the same long windy riff seems to go on for a long time. Each time I hear it, I know it's going to be a little bit of a slog, but at least it's not obnoxious. It's still a good tune, but certainly has some fat that could benefit from being trimmed just a little. Crepuscule Natura is yet another solid release from this incredible band, but I must say in all honesty that this album is not really my favorite. It is definitely better than Devoid of Light, despite my earlier comparison and praise. But I still love Gin as the second best, and of course I strongly believe that Cult of a Dying Sun is without a doubt their magnum opus, in my personal opinion. Sometimes when you catch lightning in the bottle, it's extremely difficult to top such an impressive feat. All things considered, with me basically calling this their third best in their 4-album discography, I'm going to rate this album a very good 8 out of 10. Be sure to show your support for Uada by purchasing their music through their Bandcamp page, and you can follow them on social media. Catch them live any chance you can, as they always put on an incredible show.